Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome to a very, very fun game. We have had a community tournament going on over the past month and a half, and basically, regardless of your strength as a player, there was a group for you, right? And the players are playing on Hidden Cup settings. We had about 150 people enter, I believe, and so I wanted to get down to business and kind of dive into some of the games because it's just produced some hilarious games at times, and of course, some very high level and not so high level games at times, depending on the elo. So here we have Nuka Crypt. Nuka, you may recognize if you watched a lot of my videos from some community games. It's been around the community for many years. Nuka Crypt is playing as the Goths, which is not your typical civilization for this map, which is Bay. Okay, not Pants. Barry Taste Tester here is his opponent, and Barry Taste Tester has gone for the Italians, which is more of your standard approach when compared to the pros. Italians are great as far as water's concerned. And so Barry Taste Tester is scouting the shoreline and is going to wood and is thinking about getting wood and then docking and then adding fishing ships and is wandering around and happens to see a villager. Now, I think Blue is just doubling back. I don't know if Blue had a sense it was coming. And Nuka tries to quick wall this in, which is hilarious because you can't wall in the water here. But Nuka already has loom. So the Goths, they have they receive loom instantly. They don't receive it. You research it instantly. So that is something that Nuka's trying to take advantage of here. So basically, Nuka's trying to make this as messy as possible. Blue sees this and is laughing at it with the 11 taunt. And here comes the scout as well from Nuka. And Blue asks, MBL, question mark? Because Otto the freaking Great had this memory in Hidden Cup, which was incredible.
Oh, boy. All right. Listen, Otto, you got me. You're my favorite player
Dave.
in Hidden Cup. Like, you got me,
Yeah.
dude. Sorry.
It always is. It always is. It's
You got
always
me.
Otto. Okay, now
He's just he has Town Watch so he can see. Okay, so just don't. Everyone
I don't think Gajamata noticed anything. Wait, no, he just repositioned the villagers on gold for more efficiency. Okay, so Gajamata has no clue there's a bill in the back corner of his base. He's never gonna expect anything back there.
There's nothing back there to go for. There's absolutely nothing. It's the worst. Trust me, I'm an expert on corners. That's the worst corner ever. He doesn't have to look there, but he's gonna look there soon because Otto will have something. The only question is, what is it gonna be?
Sorry, I probably should have had that highlight right after the scout fight, but basically, Barry Taste Tester clearly watched Hidden Cup and remembered that moment. It's one of my favorite moments of Hidden Cup 5. Of course, we didn't know it was MBL at that time. We found out later after the reveal. But Nuka didn't respond here, guys. And this is what's fun, man. You get to see some different strats. You get to see all these things play out here at a different rank. And Blue is really going to have some decisions to make here on how they manage this. Nuka has lamed the pig. So ate the pig and just left it there. Essentially, Nuka's scout is stronger of the two now. And this villager is still kind of lurking around next to the shoreline. So this is what I would suggest for Blue. You just go dock anyways. Right? This villager can't protect the whole shoreline. You just go dock anyways. But you could tell Blue is a little caught on what to do, right? You can tell Blue's a little torn. All this has made it very chaotic for Barry Taste Tester. Because Barry Taste Tester placed the dock, then was like, actually, no, I can go for a barracks. Maybe I kill that vill with some military. And then just forgot to make a house. So, yeah, times are awkward. And I think you could say the forward villager has in some ways already paid off here for Nuka. And Nuka has to be careful. Both scouts very weak here. And Nuka will now see the barracks. Now, back at home, it's tough to manage this. What is Nuka up to? Well, Nuka is still going to play this, I would say, somewhat standard for the map. So he is going to end up docking. And is actually going to bring the villager back home. Or at least she's thinking about going back home. And maybe she has future orders. But already a really fun start. And the Community Cup was kind of designed to, see how the same settings as Hidden Cup play out when you have average players or below average players or slightly above average players. And it's been good fun. And I will say, because there's probably some of you guys right now who are thinking, man, that actually sounds kind of cool. I might want to try this. Where do I go? While you can't sign up for this one, we are working on getting things set up where there will be a new one come June. So if you just watch videos and, you know, are planning on sticking around, don't worry. I'll mention it a bunch. And, oh, man, I'm actually getting real pumped about it already. It's 2 months away. I'm actually really pumped about it, and I'm pumped! That blue killed Nuka's scout. And Nuka says, oof. Now, that is a really big deal, right? Because red has already been super sneaky. So it's good that blue has the scout out to see kind of what's going on. Blue did see the dock, should know that Nuka's done that. Ended up adding the barracks. And actually, blue will be hurting for food income here. Because the pig went down, and the fishing ships aren't out yet. So things could be a little bit more awkward, especially because the Goths have their hunt lasts longer. So these boars will bring in a lot of food here for red. Now, I'm so stupid. I didn't actually look at the elo of these players before the cast. Maybe Hardy can edit it in. So that right there, that on screen is their elo, guys. And if Hardy didn't do it, you can call him out in the comments, and he'll message me about it. He does that from time to time. If we miss something, he's like, hey, I missed it. The viewers called me out on it. Whoops. But fortunately, not a big issue for us. So basically, red's in the dark, okay? Red is in the dark, doesn't know what Berry Taste Tester is doing. But did see the barracks. So if I were red, I would be a little concerned that pressure could be coming in right now. And so, I don't know, sending villagers forward again? That might be something I hesitate to do. But we are going to see it anyways. It's not going to be one. It's going to be 2 villagers headed forward. They have a plan. And essentially, Nuka's whole plan seems to be to just make this as awkward and as messy as possible. Now, when I'm casting games specifically for YouTube, I always like to clarify if I don't know or if I do know exactly what's going to happen. Like, sometimes I'll see the game in its entirety and I bring it to you with that in mind, right? I only knew that there was a Sneakville here. That's it, okay? I knew it was Goths versus Italians. I clearly didn't know what their ranks were because I didn't look for it. But there is a forward barracks now from Nuka. And this is just when Blue's thinking, oh, okay, it's a standard game. Red just went home. I get to chill. I know this was the first game in their series as well. So Blue's just like, you know, all right, finally a nice game. Huh? And now sees the flag on the barracks and is up against Goths, so should know that it's going to be some militia out of the barracks and potentially the man-at-arm upgrade. So, but remember, red doesn't know that blue is docked here. So this is really good for blue, actually. Blue's in a position to kill all these fishing ships. Red will have to adapt there. And sees there's militia and is going to add an archery range. This wall from blue to the edge of the map, really smart. So red can't break through there, and red's going to try and make, you know, some damage whatever way is possible. And we've got a tower up behind the wood line. Now, this is an interesting one because Berry Taste Tester does have another, you know, does have wood lines elsewhere. So in theory, with the walls coming up and blue's playing really safe, you could just drop off the wood with these vills, and you could just place another lumber camp in the back. Because towering an area like this, it doesn't always feel that good. Now, we'll see if blue even notices that the tower's there. Archer comes out behind the barracks. Man-at-arms are never going to break through that barracks anyways. And yeah, now you have the decision to make, basically, if you're blue. And I like this. Like, you could tell, at least I could tell, that blue is a bit more of a meta player. The order of events here makes sense, but there's a lot of adapting, right? I like the thought process to just go to this wood line. I like the fact that there's walls, but what else are you going to do? Because Nuka's going crazy. Now, behind this, Nuka is walled. Now, walled to here, units could always run through here. Nuka's going to make a demo. And quite a few man-at-arms have come out. And Goth man-at-arms destroy buildings pretty quickly. So We're going to see red potentially break through the walls, but it does seem like blue's happy to just make a couple more archers and keep things fairly simple here. Now, this gets interesting. The man-at-arms could attack the dock, and the fire galley would have to come over to help. Now, you could, like, sit the fire galley on the shoreline. I think Nuka's strategy there was to use the demo against fishing ships. But there's only one fishing ship from blue, so not sure if that would have been worth it. I have the boxing mod on, so hopefully people on YouTube appreciate that. Which is stronger, man-at-arms against Palisade or villagers with their boxing gloves on? It seems like man-at-arms. Seems like swords are much stronger than boxing gloves. Good to know. And blue is just building a house wall after house wall after house wall. And red is like, let me in, right? Classic let me in meme. And how do men-at-arms do against fire ships? Are you curious? Because I am. Nuka, I am. Pretty good. Not bad. New meta stuff here from Nuka. Would love to see blue make a demo. Blue micros the fire galley away. And you know, what we don't really look at is the economy behind this, right? We know blue had fishing ships and lost them. Now blue has gone for some exquisite farms, I would say, back at home. So that's very good. Red's... Wait, did I say blue, red? I think I screwed up the colors. Anyways, Nuka's done a good job with farms, and same with Berry Taste Tester. And again, I would say, like, Nuka's got crazy chaotic energy. Nuka didn't, you know... Nuka's clearly a big fan of the channel. You know, with some of the farms here. Doesn't really have time to pay attention to the placement. And Nuka just made a couple more man-at-arms, and is going for armor now as well. So blue's thinking that archers counter man-at-arms, but now the barracks is down. And fletching is just a couple seconds away, and this is still a lot of pressure here for good old blue. Archers have gone down. Man-at-arms, though, should struggle a little bit with the amount of archers out here. And now, like, the big thing that should come to your mind if you're blue, if you can clear this up right now, which blue is going to do, is counterattack. That should be your immediate thought, because you just killed their army. The blue doesn't know if the opponent has army prepared yet. But yeah, counterattacking should be of the utmost importance. Or, of course, just finding these villagers and killing these villagers. I mean, that would be great, right? The idea of a counterattack is to kill vills. If the vills are just going to still be hanging out here, you could go after these as well. Now, on Bay, the stone is always forward. And that villager goes down. But you could see blue stone is exposed, and then this stone is exposed as well for Nuka. So... when you're thinking Goths against archers, you're normally immediately thinking about the unique unit, the Huskarl. Actually, come to think of it, I'm pretty sure Nuka, you'll have to comment on this video if you end up seeing this. I'm pretty sure Nuka's Discord image is a Huskarl. I don't know. I've known Nuka for a long time. I've seen him around the community quite a few times. Maybe I'm just crazy, but... this lady, not sure what we'll name her, but she is trying to escape, and blue is spread out everywhere trying to find her. And they end up finding her. But Nuka's very exposed right here. Would be pretty good, though. I mean, Nuka could just bring that fire ship over, or even make a demo and sit it in that area. Villager's still alive. And resources collected pretty close. Blue is ahead, and blue actually has army. So, but blue hasn't clicked up to Castle Age yet. And she's the great distraction. She goes down. Okay. So, blue's going to be in a really nice position come Castle Age. It's now about making the most of the army that's out here currently. Now, I'm going to assume blue knows the map, because blue did say MBL question mark when the villagers went forward. But blue is not immediately making their way here. I think very easy for us to say, because again, these guys aren't pros, that blue should just try and run around here. And blue's still focusing on just massing those archers to have them prepared for late game. Is on the way to Castle Age as well. And in old versions of Bay, like way back in the day, when the stone wasn't like this, this would be an amazing position for red. But we put the stones forward for a reason, and Nuka Ooh, this could be really awkward, actually, because Nuka tried to expand this area with some house walls just to further protect it, and that house isn't built yet. And Villager goes down. That's 7 eco lost for Nuka this game, and Nuka's just going to have to abandon the stone for now. And it's trying to use the market. Look at this. We've all been there, people. Oh, no! Drop off the stone! If one of these villas has 5 stone... Come on, drop it off. There's 18 in total in their hands. It'd be great. Oh, man. I don't know if Nuka knows. Don't tell me Nuka's going to buy another 100. Nuka is nuking his economy. Okay, there he goes. Drops off the stone. He wants Huskarls. And is going to drop the castle there. Dropping the castle there makes sense because Nuka's very worried about not being able to take more stone. So... you guys will have to tell me in the comments if you have played against the Goths, but like, I feel like in this situation, maybe Blue's feeling a lot of fear. Blue knows the opponent was on stone, knows the opponent's in Castle Age, and so is choosing to fall back, probably worried Huskarls are going to be coming this way. Interesting that Red actually made a transport ship. Blue did fight back on water at the very last second out of this dock, though. We missed that. And we see Thumb Ring, we see Crossbow, we see Bodkin Arrow now for Blue. And also 2 stables. A couple scouts are going to come out. Like, Crossbow Knight would be so freaking good here. And honestly, until the Huskarls get massed and get more upgrades, I think this number of crossbows would also be really good. Blue is going to drop TC number 2. Notice how Blue is expanded. Very nice location. And also TC number 3, again, expanded. Like, that's what this map is all about. So I really like what we're seeing here from this Blue player. Like, they're just 2 completely different styles, despite being very similar ranks, I would say. Huskarls are on the way, though. They will have full armor for Castle Age. I think that takes them to 6 pierce armor, which means the crossbows are doing 1 damage a hit. They're actually not horrible with 22 crossbows and a little bit of a meat shield because 3 volleys you're killing a Huskarl. But the meat, the shield, is of the utmost importance. And so, Blue, you could tell Blue's managing the economy. Not exactly ready to fight at the moment. And here comes Red with skirms and 2 Huskarls. I like how 2 skirmishers walked over here, and then 3 of them got transported. It's just so funny looking. And transport ship isn't really that important to Nuka anymore, but maybe wants to keep it alive. Here comes Blue with the Knights and Blue with the Scouts, and Blue is going to deal with this. And Blue's probably like, what on earth am I witnessing here? Transport ship. I love the energy, though. It's about time that Nuka makes this a little bit more interesting, though, with the fights, because Blue's doing a really solid job. Trading out of every TC here. Big army. I mean, this is such a difficult army to kill at this point. And so I think what Nuka needs, again, is Nuka needs chaos. So, by chaos, I mean hitting different spots at once, in this case, right? Your opponent's army is here. Nuka doesn't have the knowledge about this, but you get a couple Huskarls up here. All of a sudden, Blue reacts, and then bam, you hit him here. Really test Blue's multitasking. We also haven't really seen how Blue is able to micro. That's not true, actually. We have seen Blue's micro in some instances, but for the most part, like, the Man-at-Arms died pretty quickly for Nuka, and I think that we haven't seen multitasking when Nuka has an army that can actually compete. For example, right now, Blue is probably placing a farm or placing some buildings because there's Huskarls and there's a shot. And oh no, oh god, the crossbows get wrecked. And that right there, well, that's why a lot of players don't play archers, actually. That right there is why a lot of players don't play archers. And that is perfect here for Nuka. And Nuka nukes the crossbows. And Blue says, that couldn't have been worse. Actually, technically, that's not true. You did do some damage to these Huskarls, but yeah, oh man, just a brutal situation. And Blue, you know what makes it worse? What actually makes it worse is the fact that this is going to be on my YouTube channel. I am so sorry. Nuka's tower shows him where he could potentially enter, and now it's all about adapting here for Blue. Huskarls make it right through, and the pressure is on here for Berry Taste Tester. Nice eco. Still has the stables. What I'd like to see here are some knights. Lycav. Lycav feels satisfying to make, because I'm a big fan of Lycav myself. Just because of the cost, but you got 3 less base attack, 40 less HP. You really need that high damage and that high HP to deal with the Huskarls. Seems like there will be some knights, but the Huskarls are doing some great damage here, and Nuka has tied up the eco, and of course doesn't have the idle time that Berry Taste Tester has. But we've got a quick wall here from Berry Taste Tester. Nice move to ensure that the Huskarls stay. Not sure if you actually want them to stay, but yeah, the knights are here. They should get the clear up. And then maybe, with a little bit of deep breaths here, Blue could potentially figure this one out. Get these villagers back on the farms. Maybe make a couple new farms. And again, make knights. I see this a lot. I get it. I really like to make Lycav too, but Lycav might be a little bit better in a raiding scenario. Can we talk about how Nuka continues to just take these little forward positions and how funny it is? Like the transport, the Sneakville, so much of it has had to focus on this area. I wonder if Nuka's doing it because Nuka knows about this gold. But it's just funny to me. I mean, we're going to have a Ram, Mangonel. There's a forward barracks there. But you can really only use that barracks for Huskarls if you research Anarchy. And I think we're going to see that here in a moment. At least I would assume so. There was another barracks forward before, of course. That one got destroyed. And Nuka is now going to house wall the opening at the opponent's base. Interesting. Okay. You could tell this is a period where they've settled to fix their economy, get some upgrades there. But it's 86 villagers for the Goth player. And you know what you say about Goths, guys? It's like, there are a lot of civs that on paper could deal with the Goths very well. Italians maybe being one of them with their condos and their hand cannons. But just because of how quick the Goth spam can overwhelm you, Goths can really beat any of the civilization you can mention. You can't name a single one where you could say the Goths can't win if they can make it a little bit messy early. I actually really like them balance-wise. In the past, it was like they really had nothing at the beginning of the game. No eco bonuses or anything. I'm a big fan of the balance of the Goths right now. I feel like the Goth civilization some people love and some people hate. I guess it depends on which side you're on. So Nuka's going to slowly build up the barracks here. I mean, Blue could see this. Oh, no, Blue can't see this. Sorry, I'm wrong. So that's interesting. He's going to produce some pikes because the opponent had knights. I guess that makes sense. And Blue's starting to think about other things. Starting to go towards the belt of the map. Get these relics over here. There's stones and golds out here. I mean, Nuka hasn't really expanded to these other resources like Blue has. Blue will drop a castle. This is an amazing castle. I love this castle because it protects the rest of the stone. And then if you protect that stone, you can mine more stone, and then you can worry about the castles wherever else you might want. Huskarls are going to dive in for Blue's siege because Blue's trying to push back the position. And the Lycav and the Scorpions mop it up. Beautiful play. Proving me wrong here with Lycav. Blue seems like he's in the perfect position to think about gunpowder. At least that's what I'd be suggesting here. Could also drop barracks and go for condos. You could produce them right away in Imp with the Italians. They've got pretty solid stats. I would say that upgrades is something that Blue could also work on as well. Obviously, though, Blue worried a little bit here about the engagements, and Red's actually, that's actually a pretty good engagement still. It's not a very costly army here for Nuka. Siege does cost gold, and down goes most of the siege, and here are some of the upgrades we talked about. There's Anarchy. So Anarchy being the Castle Age tech. Then there's also the Perfusion tech, where infantry produces, I think, 100% faster. And we've got Berry Taste Tester just only seeing low amounts of army here from Nuka. There's a couple pikes. That kind of got dealt with. A couple Huskarls before. That got dealt with. Now the Light Cav are going to run through. Now, will Blue know that you could just run right into this eco? I really hope so. I think this is actually walled here. But at this point, the Light Cav could get through. Ooh, this is a nice find. And this is the first time in a while that Nuka is actually being raided. Nuka doesn't really have much here in defense. Nuka did find this eco, though, and is starting to raid with Huskarls. Big eco lead here for Nuka, but Nuka has no relics. Nuka doesn't really have any defense. It's just the forward barracks here. And this is where, like, I would suggest to Blue, you got to deal with this fast, man. You got to deal with this. This is like this is a tumor. It's going to continue to grow and continue to be a problem for you if you don't deal with it soon. A castle here would be fantastic. You get a castle down, and it just protects the position. Huskarls are still being massed in there. Blue only knows there's 2 barracks and only sees the flag on the siege workshop. So Blue doesn't really know what's in there. And there's the castle. Now Red can see this because of the tower. And it's just perfect timing here for Nuka. Mangonel arrives. Huskarls are here. And we see full Hussar right now from Berry Taste Tester. And I mean, he seems really rattled at the moment. Seems to be thinking, maybe I can complete this castle. The castle might actually be destroyed. Like, the foundation might actually be destroyed, and then the stone would be lost. I think Blue deleted it there because Blue got a bit of stone back, but it's just Huskarl City here. Gotta love how they'll sometimes patrol into farms. And it's 3 barracks. I mean, one of them's... There's only one that's actually producing right now. It's 3 barracks, and it's going to be Halbs for any horsies, and Huskarls for any archers. This is Goths to a T. Blue seems obsessed with the horsemen, but doesn't really have a unit that does an amazing job against Hal then. And again, the theme right now, Nuka. I mean, look at how expansive this economy is. Look at the farm count, 50 on food. And these triple barracks, look how fast they produce. Perfusion is in. And as that distraction is working out, Nuka's also able to get some kills here in the north as well. And this is that Goth. I want to say Goth trio that kills people. It's actually a duo, right? It's Halbs and Huskarls. There's also the champions you have to worry about too. This is what Goths do. And this is the position the starting villager was in, right? This is where that villager walked and started it all. She did eventually die, of course. But this was her plan. This was her vision for the world. And as Blue continues to stare at the screen, realizing, oh man, whatever I have here is just not it. This position is so valuable because you can go left, you can go right. I mean, Blue's dropping a castle back here doesn't exactly give you access to this gold. The only other gold income for Blue would be the relic that was collected, and then this gold, which Nuka has raided. And Nuka says, you know what? We need some barracks at home, and we're going to see if some production at home here as well. So maybe one more attempt here for Blue with hand cannons. I'm assuming that that just clicked in Blue's mind. Italians do get hand cannons. Gunpowder is amazing against infantry. Selling off some wood and selling off some food to get some additional gold. So, like, maybe the archer ranges that are out there could end up producing some gunpowder, but it's just 1 or 2 Huskarls could find so much damage if it goes unchecked. And Nuka has found this TC, has some random Huskarls streaming into the eco. And then as Blue deals with all this, I guarantee you there's going to be more units running through here at some point here soon. It's just exactly what you want to do here with the Goths. Chemistry also just makes your archers stronger, though you're going to have 10 damage output and elite Huskarls have 10 pierce armor. Is it 8? Oh, they're not elite. Okay, so they're not elite yet. So yeah, actually they're doing 2 damage per Huskarl now after chemistry, so that's a positive. But the lack of villagers is the main problem. Even if Blue had 5 relics right now, that is not enough to compensate for being down by 50 villagers. Nuka's done an amazing job here. Rams through, Pikes, or I guess Halbs and Huskarls come through to this side to pressure. Now Blue's going to go back this way. It's frustrating for me even having to cast this right now for Blue. And it's just so funny to think back to Dark Age when Blue laughed and said, "Are you NBL? Are you doing that thing we saw in Hidden Cup? Because that's sure what it seems like." Now, Nuka, I love you to death because I say do not trickle trap all the time. I say, Joe up with enough trebs to clear a castle. I usually say 4. But, you know, enough trebs to clear a castle and then make your move. And that seems to be what he's planning on. Does lose this push, but just instantly spams a couple more Halbs. And the Halbs, when they engage, will do okay against the Hussars. First counterattack here from Blue in a long time. Nuka into the TC. And, well, not with everybody. The Huskarls will probably deal with that. Still 170 population here for Nuka. Blue trying his best. Going to kill some villagers here. And there's idle time, right? There's the distraction aspect. Scorpions are... They're great against, like, Pikes. I don't know what it is stat-wise about them. Maybe someone can say in the comments, but they're always a little underwhelming against Huskarls. I don't even know if Italians get Heavy Scorpion. Heavy Scorpion only costs wood and food, though, to get that upgrade. So actually, if Blue really is obsessed with the idea of Scorpions, could get that upgrade. Now Elite Huskarl is going to be in, and now the attack's going to go up on these Huskarls. The HP goes up, the armor goes up. Now these things are so much stronger. And I think it's just a matter of Nuka getting his units grouped up together here and really committing to one big battle. The side fights are fantastic. I love how Nuka's been swinging back and forth. You know, we got a raid here, we got a raid here, and then the forward barracks. But this would be the time when you go for the killer blow, because you've had the opponent on the ropes. Now you've got to go for that knockout punch. And Blue's been a fighter here. Like, clearly loves to make Hussars. We've seen a lot of Hussars this game. But, you know, Hussars, they're just not quite good enough against the units that are out here. And the real issue is going to be Halb. But in theory, archers for the Halbs, Hussars for the Huskarls, I could see where the logic is. But now, this is why we don't trickle trap, people. Because now Blue has to deal with this, right? There's no question. He's got to deal with this. And even if Blue clears the fight, that castle's going to be a goner anyways. That's kind of the whole idea. Anyways, Hussars die. Castle goes down. Everything on front gets killed. And the game ends. Nuka at 200 population. Actually has 70 military at this point. Wins the game. All because of a little bit of chaos. When you think about this map, you think about the easy breezy buildup with the Italians, winning the water with all their water bonuses. But in Dark Age, Nuka decided to make this messy, decided to make this chaotic. And even though Blue, I think in some ways, this actually felt like the better player at times, it just always felt like Blue didn't exactly know where the next push was coming. So definitely a masterful display from Nuka on just making the opponent be in a defensive mindset and always keeping them guessing here. Here's the look at the resources collected. And for a while there, it was pretty close, and then some heavy raids came in there from Nuka. And Nuka was spamming villagers as heavily as Nuka was spamming infantry there as well. We don't focus on a lot of that eco expansion because we're looking at the fights all the time, but crazy wood, food, and gold eco there from Nuka. I love it. Didn't even mind 650 stone. Just needed one castle, and then you unlock the unique techs, and you unlock Elite Huskarl, and then the rest is history. I love how you don't really need castles with the Goths. It's such a unique thing. Other civilizations rely on their castles a lot more. And, you know, that one castle produced the Trebs as well. So let me know what you thought about this one. Listen, I think whether it's Bay, whether it's Arabia, probably not Arena, but even like islands, like having a forward base, sending villagers towards the opponent's economy, it can work out. Because even if they, you know, get into a position where they should manage to get a lead against you, there's a little bit of paranoia, especially if you're able to always keep coming back pressuring their base. Fun fact, by the way, because my impression here is that blue played really solid overall. The army count was great. The upgrades were really good. That, you know, like blue clearly didn't know about condos or like hand cannons, right? The Huskarls were a big problem in that regard, but blue did win this series. So blue apparently lost the first game, which was this, and then ended up winning the series 2-1. So hopefully blue feels a little bit better about the whole crossbow situation, considering the fact I mentioned that, because losing 30 crossbows and saying this could not have been worse, and then being uploaded to my YouTube channel probably doesn't make blue too happy. But congratulations, blue, on winning the series anyways. But again, guys, let me know what you thought about this. I'll be sprinkling in some casts from this community tournament, so you'll see some interesting games coming. Appreciate the love, appreciate the interest in the content as always, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good one.